Hello, my name is Shelley Wray. I facilitate the grief seminars at Rocky Donovan. Thank you so very much for allowing me to be with you today. I am in front of the Tree of Memories at the Rocky Donovan Funeral Home. For the past 22 years, the Tree of Memories service has become a wonderful community tradition. Sadly, COVID-19 has brought significant changes and challenges to all of our lives, and we've had to make changes to our 23rd annual Tree of Memories, as we cannot gather safely as a community this year. However, we recognize that the holidays can be a challenging time for those who've experienced the death of a loved one. With this in mind, we found a way to still honor and remember those who are no longer with us to celebrate the holidays. We invited the community to call us so we could prepare and place on the Tree of Memories a memorial ornament on their behalf. When someone we love has died, the holidays are hard. Christmas is hard. Our lives are changed and nothing will ever be the same. The constant is that on the same day every year it's Christmas, and then the new year comes and nothing that we do can stop these times from arriving. This year, 2020, has been hard for all of us. Loss after loss has left us feeling particularly sad and vulnerable. We live in fear of what's going to happen next. There are so many cumulative losses that it becomes more and more difficult to deal with the great loss of death. Do you remember the story, A Christmas Carol? Let me remind you. One Christmas Eve, a miserly old man named Ebenezer Scrooge was sitting in his counting house counting out his money. His nephew came in to wish him a very Merry Christmas. Scrooge calls out those famous words, "Bah, humbug!" Later that evening, he's visited by the ghost of his dead partner, who tells him that he will be visited by 3 spirits over the next 3 nights. The first night, he is visited by the ghost of Christmas past. He sees his childhood Christmases and the woman that he loved. He's moved to tears. The next night, he is visited by the ghost of Christmas present. He sees people celebrating Christmas and he wants to have the joy that they feel for Christmas. And he feels scared and unhappy. But at the end of the night, the ghost disappears and Scrooge feels a dark figure coming towards him. The third night, he is visited by the ghost of Christmas future. Christmas is yet to come. Scrooge makes the decision to change. He realizes that by changing his attitude and his thinking, he can have Christmas as he wants it. As the story goes, he finds in Christmas kindness, generosity, and warmth. I tell you this story because grieving at Christmas is somewhat like this story. Christmas past. Holidays, particularly Christmas, mark the passage of time in our lives. Do you remember the Christmas we got engaged? Baby's first Christmas. The Christmas I got that special doll. The Christmas it snowed so much that we couldn't go anywhere. My first Christmas away from home. The year my mom died. And I'm sure that this year will become one of those markers, the Christmas of 2020, the year of COVID-19. For many of us, it's like the ghost of Christmas past is alive and well and living in our hearts and minds. Past Christmases are often painted with nostalgia. It's not the individual Christmas we carry with us, but our idea of Christmas. The story we tell ourselves about the meaning of Christmas that makes it so difficult when the story changes due to loss. I read a post that says, "I am homesick for a place I am not sure even exists. One where my heart is full and my soul is understood." This is Christmas past. Sometimes the build-up to Christmas is worse than the actual day. Right after Thanksgiving and Remembrance Day, trees and lights go up and the Christmas season is underway. Normally, this seems like a happy season, but to those who are grieving, this season feels like a time that needs to be survived more than enjoyed. And the added uncertainty of COVID at Christmas makes the season feel sad and stressful. People who are mourning worry about how to manage these feelings of loss and sorrow at this time. Sometimes it feels like you're just going crazy. What if I'm alone? I feel so lonesome. What if other people want me to stay in touch with them? I feel so anxious. What if I'm not okay? I feel so scared. What if I go with my family? I feel so guilty. What if I can't be with my family? I feel so sad. What if I just panic? What if I cry and I can't quit? Friends and family are doing the best they can to support you. They're all good intentioned. Some people are naturally more empathetic than others. They understand your feelings. They don't want to change them. They're willing and able to be involved in your pain, and they know that you will heal. They will help you in your grief journey. Some people will be there, but will neither help nor hinder you in your grief journey. They know your loss, and just because they're not talking about it doesn't mean they don't care. Others want to be helpful, but don't know how. They'll try to take your grief away. They just want you to be okay. Talk to these people who care for you. They love you, and they'll be grateful if you tell them how you feel and what you need. Don't be a martyr. Don't make them guess. They can't read your mind. Christmas present. As you acknowledge that there has been a death and that the holidays will be different and hard, it's important for you to know that you get to choose what your Christmas looks like. Many of us are struggling with this Christmas this year. Our families might not be available, and for the first time in our lives, we might be alone for Christmas. If you like, and Christmas just seems too hard for you this year, cancel it. You don't need to do Christmas this year. Give yourself permission to let the stressful parts of Christmas go. If you don't want to, don't bake. Don't send cards or emails. Don't buy things. Don't put lights on the house. Even in this time of COVID, you can do something completely different and something that is just for you. As Christmas Day approaches, you can decide what you're going to have for breakfast that day and what you're going to do that day. Take a drive to the lake. Walk your dog through the park. Take part in an online faith service. Stay in bed, watch movies, and order in food. You get to choose what is good for you. A tradition is something that is done time after time, maybe passed from person to person. You can decide to keep your holiday traditions exactly the same as they have been for years. Whether or not you can be with your family this year, you can follow those traditions that bring you joy and keep you connected to your loved one. If you traditionally put up a Christmas tree and you want to do that again, put it up. Find your loved one's favorite decorations and use them. Find joy in the act of remembrance. I know of a family who continues to carefully put out their mother's treasured Christmas figurines in exactly the same places she loved to put them. We all know the old story about traditions. The mom who went to her daughter's house for the first time the daughter was cooking Christmas dinner. The daughter put a small ham into a roaster to put into the oven. The mother stopped her and cut the ham in half, put each half in a roaster, and put them both in the oven. "Why did you do it that way?" the daughter asked. The mother said, "That's the way your grandmother did it. It's our tradition." Later, the mom asked the grandmother how the tradition got started. "Well," the grandmother said, "we always had a lot of people to feed. We always had a big ham and we never had a roaster that was big enough. So we had to cut the whole thing in half." Traditions. If you choose You can let go of traditions of the past and create new rituals and new traditions that work for you and honor your loved one. A new Christmas tradition can be a ritual that you do on your own. Light a candle every night in honor of your loved one, or something you invite your friends and family and community to be part of. Make a yearly donation to your loved one's favorite charity. Make a family visit to your loved one's grave on Christmas morning. Cook a favorite dish with a recipe that can be passed on through the family. We have a tradition in our family called Mom's Jellied Salad. It has made appearances at Christmas dinner for 3 generations and is now served by family members in 3 provinces of Canada and in the United States. It's lime jello, mayonnaise, milk, cottage cheese, grated carrots, grated celery, green onions, and walnuts put in layers as the jello sets in the fridge. As my mom's jellied salad is passed around the table, so are stories of my mom. While this Christmas season is happening, be compassionate with yourself. The Dalai Lama said, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. This grief journey is long. Let it be what it is. Let you be what you are, your grieving, wonderful self. If you make what you think is a mistake, it's okay. There's no right way to grieve. If the day is long and you're not coping well, it's okay. Show yourself the same support and the same encouragement you would show to your best friend. While this Christmas season is happening and long afterwards, laugh. Humor is healing. Laughter restores hope and assists us in handling the pain of grief. When we laugh, we feel better. In fact, one of the many tasks of grief is learning to laugh again. Christmas future. First of all, when this Christmas is over, celebrate. You've got through the holidays. You've taken care of yourself. You know yourself and what you need better than you did before. You're open to compassion and grace. Grief is an expression of love. It changes as time moves forward and holds space for happy and sad memories of special occasions. There's no rules and no timelines for grief, so wherever you are next Christmas is where your grief has taken you. Stay patient with yourself and stay open to hope and optimism that you are worthy of good things to come, even though you're surrounded by sorrow today. During this upcoming year, live your life well. As my niece tells me, live your best life. Stay in the present. Practice gratitude. The great Maya Angelou wrote, if you must look back, do so forgivingly. If you must look forward, do so prayerfully. However, the wisest thing you can do is be present in the present, gratefully. Be hopeful and expect good things in your life. Thank you.